Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to yet another episode of Daemonhunters here. Let me go and thank the channel members really quick as we are traveling through the system here, and then we'll roll right into the episode. Thank you to Tyler, Tobias, Walter, Moses, and Jared. So, let me go and update you guys on what is happening right now in the story. So, we have constructed the Codex Toxicus, as Inquisitor Vakir so fondly calls it. And we are currently in the process of researching the locations of each of the bloom spawn seeds. So there are 5 of them here. You can see you have the Poxus, you have the Necrosis, the Mortis, and the Dolores, as well as the Tentaris. So yes, those are the 5 seeds, but we have to research them each individually, and they each take 20 days. So we are going to be gallivanting around many star systems while these take place, doing missions in the meantime in order to find the requisite seeds in order to conduct more of the research. And then I think we're going to come to a head where we have to go eliminate some of these seeds here. Should be quite interesting to say the least. All right, let's go ahead and roll right into it here. I have not gone through the voice lines in a couple of videos, so I think I will do that here.
Can I help you, Commander?
I will extend the video based upon the amount of time we go through the voice lines.
We will agitate the trapped Xenos souls within.
Go ahead and pause the video if you need to read, if you guys like that kind of lore. I did want to include that in this series. I feel like it is a cool aspect of the game.
It is the Xenos souls that suffer, not the subjects of the Emperor. All right. And where precisely would you prefer I reside? My own ship?
Yeah, I mean, that would be great, actually. If you could, like, just fuck off back to your own ship, then we could deal with this by ourselves.
Steel and bolt alone can only delay the arch-enemy's advance. You should broaden your horizons, Commander. All right.
And I think you should narrow yours.
I see why Brother Ektar chose you as Agravain's successor.
I don't. I'm a bumbling buffoon, personally. All right, that will be all of the Inquisitor's voice lines. Let's go talk to Magus Dominus Lynette, I believe. Oh, Tech Priest Dominus. Sorry. All right, let's go through these voice lines.
There are many of the priesthood who would see it destroyed. We must simultaneously better ourselves to the quest for knowledge while holding fast to the Omnissiah's creed. Vox exchange parameters updated. There are no active...
All right, that is all the voice lines there. Let's go to Ektar here.
If your Aegis is strong, are you ready?
Hell yeah, we're ready, buddy. Haven't you been seeing what we've been doing? We've been rolling through these missions with Crow.
I despise it.
All right, interesting.
We fight the preternatural and must be armed as such. They succumb too easily to corruption.
Interesting.
Of course, Commander. The Knights look to me for guidance to keep their souls as pure as possible. The Edict has not always carried a chaplain on board, so the role has fallen to me. Of course, Commander. There is certainly room for improvement.
Need to marshal our resources better. Huh. Okay.
Of course, go with the wisdom.
Thanks for being positive there, Ektar, you dick. All right, let's see here. We definitely need to get some more servitors in order to get these last 2 prognosticar levels. That will help out a lot on these missions. It will reduce the corruption of many of these planets. I think dropping a prognosticar here would be useful, as well as one here. That would cover pretty much all of the systems. I mean, like, we could drop one there, and then drop one here, and we basically have full coverage over every system, reducing the corruption level by a significant margin. Let's go ahead and play Ring Around the Rosie with the Death Guard, though. Let's advance some time here. Travel towards the central system, and then we can advance time again and wait for a new bloom activity here. All right, let's see what we got. We got a blue seed over here. We do need some blue seeds for sure. Corruption level is going to go up by 2 there if we don't achieve that. What is that mission going to give us? Requisition. We really need servitors though. This is going to give us a purple seed and 10 servitors. That'll be good. With the advanced seed extraction, I think we could achieve... Oh, we already have enough purple seeds. We don't need to do that mission. This one is in a warp storm. That will give us red seeds. Interesting. And a grimoire. And a tier 3 psi cannon. And Rugen will be rejoining us shortly. I think the Geller field... Does the Geller field eliminate that? Yeah, it eliminates warp storm risk. So we can actually go through this warp storm with no penalty. I say we do so. And Rugen will become available to us again. All right, warp storm disturbance here.
Commander, I am concerned about the bloom seeds on board the Libris. Several have begun actively resonating in response to the warp energies buffeting the hull.
All right.
I suggest we reverse course and find another way.
Nope, Gellerfield. Yes. Get fucked, game. All right, we need these red seeds quite badly. I don't know if we're going to be able to extract enough in this actual mission here. 2 days till Rugen comes back to us. We could advance a little bit of time until we get Rugen back. That would be nice. All right. What?
News, Commander. Our prognosticators augur our brother's death in pursuit of the quest you assigned him. We will be holding a rite of commemoration tonight.
No! Rugen has died! What? Oh, that's such a loss to the chapter.
Rejoice at the challenge, Commander.
We could recruit a new knight. That's an apothecary. We don't really want an apothecary. Okay, we could bring Bors in. Bors is the next best trained person besides the Castellan Crow here. We could also bring in a librarian. That would be interesting. I'm not exactly sure what abilities a librarian brings to the table. Can only equip Terminator armor. I'm not exactly sure what kind of abilities he does bring to the table, but I think he can use a ranged... No, he can't use ranged weapon. Okay, so he can only use melee weapons. Can use falchions. That would be interesting. Oh, did we not equip those on Storm? Let me go ahead and do that real quick before I before I do anything else here. I don't think we ever equipped those. Yeah, no, we never did. Wow, Ghost, you are an absolute failure, my friend. And we didn't equip him with the halberd either. Okay. I'm just fucking selling right now. Like, let's be honest here. I should not be in command at all, but let's go ahead and equip that. That does up the damage by quite a bit. Yeah, demonic targets, that's useful. Yeah, Ghost may have fucked up a little bit. We could equip that. That is useful for him. Let's make sure we go through everybody and just make sure we're not fucking anything else up. I cannot believe that we lost Rugen, though. Rugen was a pivotal part of our success. Yeah, we still have a tier 2 silencer here. We don't have any other war gear here. Can't equip melee weapons. Damn, that really sucks, man. We really don't have anyone else that is ready. Maybe I need to spend some of the requisition here on this upcoming Grandmaster report in order to get higher tier knights. I think we will have to do that. But in the meantime, I guess we can go ahead and take on this mission. Of course, there's a psi cannon here, man. The perfect weapon for Rugen, but Rugen is no longer with us. Man, that is a tough one indeed. This is a high danger level danger level mission. This is going to be quite dangerous, but we need these seeds. Yeah, we're definitely not going to win the mission without using grenades here. All right, we are going to deploy Ilanthus, Crow, Storm, and Purgator Thule. We have learned our lesson. Do not send a knight on a mission as they do have a chance of dying. Man, I really thought we were just going to get Rugen back there. I kind of want to see if I can save scum this and go retrieve Rugen, but it is a plot point for for the story here. Rugen is no longer with us, and I will go and shut up for this landing cutscene here.
Planet classification, Forge World. However, all archival data has been excised. Scans suggest a mass orbital bombardment has occurred.
Even in the broken husk of Exterminatus, our enemy has a cruel wit indeed. We must return his jest with fire and vengeance.
So, I believe we were actually... Oh, waiting there for a little bit longer than usual, but I believe we were actually the ones to enforce Exterminatus on this planet because it was so corrupted. And apparently it has not helped the threat too much. Let's go ahead and do a little half crescent loop-de-loop here like we usually like to do. Head for the closest one, and then we will make our way further as we clear these out individually. Yeah, we can go ahead and move you all the way up. Probably won't detect a patrol. There's probably gonna be patrol in that building, honestly. Yeah, maybe that wasn't the best idea. Yep, called it. All right, we'll go ahead and clear these guys out one by one, though. But once we do defeat all the bloom spawn, the mission does end, though. So we can kind of roll through this quickly, hopefully. Not going to detect the patrol. I would like to try to detect the patrol here with Castellan Crow. And if not, we can use the last of his teleport abilities here in order to do so. Still not going to detect the patrol. Wow. Okay. Well, at least that catches him up with everyone else. All right, let's go ahead and bring Atlantis up to here. And that's going to detect both the bloom spawn and the patrol. That's not exactly what I would call ideal. And it's going to trigger warp rift reinforcements here. Nice. So that is the bloom spawn back there that we have to destroy. The bloom stem. Okay, interesting. I haven't really seen that one too much. Okay, there are 2 seed carriers here, though. That is something that could be quite useful for us. Let's go ahead and move Crow up here. He's not really going to be able to do much here. I kind of did advance a little too fast for this mission here. There's an explosive crate in between these two that I can shoot with Thule. So I think I will do that. That should clear off a lot of the cover here and deal some damage. There we go. Yep, that's going to blast him out of the way there. Strip off all the armor. Weak? You know what, buddy? You can go fuck yourself. All right, let's pop you out right next to him, though. Yeah. We need to finish off at least one of these guys. And he's going to get his action point back, man. Dude, I fucking love Storm, man. He's so good. We could go for a 4-strike. Let's save it, though. If we can finish this one guy off here, that would be ideal. We might end up having to use a 4-strike here. Let's go ahead and use a 4-strike. Yeah, let's do it. Target, disable stream of corruption, afflict weakened. Yeah, let's just do stun, I guess. There we go. I think we're going to finish him off here anyways. And he might get his action point back again. And he does. And he's taken the seed. So we can go ahead and kill this guy off here. We could go for a teleport onto this guy here, but he won't have any abilities remaining. But what we can do is honor the chapter. So I think we will do so. All right, let's go ahead and hit an honor the chapter here with Ulrich Atlantis. He's going to have 2 action points if we move up here, so we will be able to set up an Overwatch there. Let's go and hit him with honor the chapter here so he can finish this guy off. All right, Storm, carve this guy a new asshole. Isn't going to crit him there, but we will be able to finish him off. All right, Overwatch set up here. Storm is in a bit of a vulnerable position. That is okay, though. Looks like both of them are actually going to move into cover here. We are going to get a warp surge. Maybe I should have reduced that with the Castellan here. That's okay, though. Not sure exactly. Oh, okay, auto resurrect 100%. Okay, that's great. Not exactly what I would call ideal. We can move Thule up to here and shoot this guy, so that might be an option here. Or we could blast this guy out of cover. That might be a better option. I think shooting this guy would help out, though. Let's go ahead and see. Storm can run over here. Ilanthus could run up here and hit this guy, or come and hit this guy. Or he could come up in here and hit the bloom spawn. The bloom tendrils, and then... Yeah, I think we should deal with this guy first, though. This will give him 1 action point left, so we can do some more damage to this guy. And that's not going to allow us to finish him off yet. But Crow can come up here from behind him and smack the shit out of him. Which I think we will do so. There we go. It's such a weird noise, by the way, when Crow hits him. Can throw a grenade here that is a perfect grenade throw. It's not going to do enough damage to that guy, though. So I think we will just shoot this guy for Storm to go ahead and run over here and finish these guys off here. We're going to get supporting fire there. That should allow him to be a one-shot for Storm. That will give us... that'll give us 2 action points remaining, hopefully, if we can finish this guy off in 1 hit. And Storm's going to be a badass, gain his action point back, and finish him off. So now we're going to have 3 action points to go after this Plague Marine. Let's see here. Yeah, let's just go ahead and hit him with the stun. That may knock him down, and it is going to knock him down. Okay, we can go for an execution here, giving us every Marine plus 1 action point. That is quite useful indeed. Yes, so we can move up Thule here. Yes. Not sure exactly what that's going to do for us here, but we can hit this thing with Crow. Let's go ahead and do it. Not going to get the crit. That's okay. But Storm still has 1 action point remaining, and Ilanthus can hit him with Honor the Chapter yet again. And I think we will. Let's see here. Let's go ahead and see if Storm... Yeah, Storm can finish this off. Let's just go ahead and finish him off. Or finish it off. And then Ilanthus can move up here and strip the armor off this one. Let's go ahead and do that. It is going to come back the next turn, but that's okay. Instantly kill the target. Wow. Okay. That was convenient. He is going to resurrect, though. That's okay. He's not going to be able to do much this turn. I don't think he'll have the movement to actually get a hit there, and the burning is going to kill him. Yep. Crow is absolutely insane, man. This guy is going to go ahead and hit all 3 of us here. Weakened and affliction resisted there. So we did resist it on 2 of us. That is quite useful. Let's see here. Storm can come up here and smack this thing in the face. This will take out 1 of the bloom spawns. I think what we're going to do first, though, is move Thule right there. Thule can hit this thing as well. Opening fire. Thule may get a crit on it, which would be quite nice, but supporting fire there going to help out a little bit. And we can do that again. If we get a crit with supporting fire, that would be really, really nice.
Foe wounded. Advancing.
Could also finish it off with the Castellan. I think we will. It's going to refresh the action points here. Very nice. And now we are on our way to the 2nd bloom spawn there. And then we'll make our way over here to the 3rd. We are doing quite well. We have taken only very light wounds so far. The warp risk is going to be rising here, though. So we do need to be quite careful. We may encounter another patrol up this way. This mission almost long enough to split into 2 videos, honestly. But I'll try to keep it in 1. May tack it on to the beginning of another episode, but we'll have to see. Ilanthus moving up here. He is getting pretty strong as well, honestly. I just haven't been able to get him the required XP points here. All right, we are moving towards that 2nd bloom spawn. We are gonna get a another turn ended here. Oh. That is not good. That is a fucking Terminator. Or a, not a Titan. What do you call it? A Dreadnought. Thank you. A Plague Marine Dreadnought. Okay.
Unleash me.
That is quite unideal, to say the fucking least.
Standing ready.
All right, Thule can move here and still have 2 action points remaining. Thule can actually hit this guy through his armor, so I think we will put him into cover here and hit this guy for sure. We all need to be out of that blast radius. Doesn't detect the patrol, which is quite nice. Strip the armor there off with Thule. Let's go ahead and do that first, because that is going to reduce everyone else's attacks here. The Castellan can move up to here, or he can hit him with a melee. I think we will hit this guy with a melee strike. I'm not sure if anything happens when we hit him with a melee. Okay, no, it doesn't look like he gets a reaction. That's very nice. All right, Justicar Iolanthus can do the same thing as well. That will leave us without an action point, though. And I think we should move him to here, where he will have 2 action points, possibly allowing us to shoot it and honor the chapter with Storm. Let's go for a teleport strike. Okay, just outside of teleport range. Let's go ahead and teleport him to there, though. All right, that is going to detect this other patrol back here and the bloom spawn. Inevitable. It was going to happen. So we need to clear this out this turn, though. I don't think we're going to get a warp surge next turn. We may, though. We need to kill this thing first, though. All right, yeah, we're not going to get a warp surge this turn. It will be next turn we get one. Okay, we're going to have to use Honor the Chapter here for sure on Storm. It's going to give it an extra 2 action points here. And Storm is going to be able to cut this thing to pieces, though. Let's go ahead and do it. That'll finish that Dreadnought off. Oh, that's going to explode next turn, though. Okay, we need to get you out of that radius for sure. That's not exactly what I would call ideal. I'm thinking, yeah, no, that's not going to be much we can do. We just move Iolanthus into cover. Crow is going to have to take that damage there. Oh, that is a lot of damage there. All right, and it blasts him out of cover as well. We need to reduce the warp surge next turn. He's going to shoot at Storm. Storm's in some cover, though, so it won't be too bad. Not sure what he did there. He was off screen. Plague Marine's moving up there. There are some explosive barrels back there that we could hit, and an explosive crate next to it. Hazard spray. Oh, man. That's not ideal. Man, the AI is really trying to shaft me here. He's immune to being plagued. He's going to run up here. Storm's going to be able to finish that guy off. Okay, first of all, with Crow, we do not want to trigger a warp surge. So let's go ahead and get rid of that right there. That will give us another turn to play with, if not 2. Then he can also run over here and do some damage. He can also shoot with his bolter here. Let's go ahead and move him into a position where he can shoot. We need to kind of keep him back here. He did take quite a large amount of damage there. We could hit him with the side bolt. That's not really going to do much. We are going to get supporting fire from Storm, though. Here comes supporting fire. Boom, boom, boom. Okay, that should make that guy a 1-shot for Storm. And we're going to get supporting fire with Thule, actually. I didn't think that would reach that far. But I guess Thule is a pretty good shot. Yeah, we can move Thule up to here. He'll be in half cover. He did take a little bit of damage off of that, though, unfortunately. We could scatter shot. That will remove all the cover that way. Astral aim. We can astral aim this big boy here. I think it's a guaranteed crit. Yeah, armor break would be quite nice here. Astral aim coming in clutch. Gonna do a little bit of damage to that guy, and it's gonna strip most of his armor. We can go for the teleport strike here now. That will finish that guy off, and we can pop out right next to this guy. Wow, we are fucking cruising this mission, though. We are doing very good. Iolanthus can still honor the chapter here. He does have enough willpower to do so. Let's go ahead and maybe use the hammer hand ability. Okay, you know what? I actually... that teleport strike pushed us into dangerous territory. All right, let's go ahead and just go for the melees on this guy. I think 1 force strike. Three melees should do it, though. There, now he has no armor. Yeah, okay, 3 melees will do it. Very nice. All right, that clears the patrol. Gains him 1 action point back. But I think it's already been used though. Okay, we need to come up towards the bloom spawn here. We'll send Iolanthus forward. He does have some armor to be able to absorb that kind of stuff. The warp meter is going to rise. We'll bring that back down with Crow. That'll be the ideal way to do this. Both of those things are actually going to hit Iolanthus, causing him to become pinned. We are going to get a warp surge next turn as long as we don't do anything about it. But let's go ahead and bring that warp meter back down with Crow. That's going to be quite useful for us. All right, that brings it down to a manageable point there. All right, let's... I think Crow is completely immune to this stuff, so we could probably just run him through this. Yeah, he's immune. Very nice. He, however, Thule is not immune. Thule can shoot from here, though. And I think this is going to fade next turn. Hopefully. Yeah, Thule can shoot this thing here. Let's go ahead and do that, Thule.
Firing on target.
All right, we have taken out one of those there. All right, we can have Iolanthus move up, or we could have Storm go for this. We could teleport strike and still have 2 action points remaining there. We could also honor the chapter as well if we needed to. I think we might need to. That's not a crit. Yeah, we're gonna have to honor the chapter here. There we go. The chapter has been honored. We can shoot this thing with Iolanthus though, so I think we might want to do that to gain him his willpower back. Hopefully, yeah, that's not going to finish it off. But we can finish it off with Iolanthus here, gaining him that willpower back, so he'll have 2 willpower instead of 1. Very nice. Bloom spawn defeated, action points refreshed, and we are all ready to go take on the 3rd bloom spawn here. Let's go ahead and move everyone around all of this shit here. All right, looks like he has encountered a patrol there. Well, not encountered, but spotted a patrol. Let's go and have Iolanthus move up as far as he can here. He is hobbled, so not exactly the most ideal thing in the world. Go ahead and move up Crow as well. And then Thule bringing up the rear here. We want to move around this, so let's go here all the way to here.
I am with you.
I love that mechanic, by the way, that you don't actually have to run through it. All right, we are going to get a warp surge, but let's go ahead and use this here. It's going to cost 2 willpower, but I think it's totally worth doing, as soon as we defeat the bloom spawn, the mission is over, you know. It is completely over the second that we defeat it. So let's go and push everybody up here. Let's try not to detect this patrol until absolutely necessary. All right, that's not going to detect it. Bringing him up here may detect it, though. Yep, it is going to. Looks like we got a Blight Lord, I believe. I can't remember what those guys with the swords are called. I really should figure out what those guys are called. That bloom spawn, that warp gate rather, is not going to be effective because we should be able to finish off the bloom spawn this turn. That is all we have to do. All we have to do is teleport strike, storm into that bloom spawn and kill it. That is all we must do. There is a purple seed on one of these guys that may be useful to extract as well. Oh, we don't have the willpower for it though. We can regular teleport. That's going to leave him 2 action points there. I think we are going to go for that. I know. Oh, you know what I realized just now? I just now realized this. We have the Gate of Infinity. Let's go ahead and... Oh, we can't use that, though. Yeah, the corruption is too great. We can target a knight to give him +2 AP, though. There we go. +2 AP. Now he has, let's see, 4 AP? Yeah, that's pretty good. I say we come in here, smack this bloom spawn up. And this will end the mission with honor the chapter here. Okay, we can't honor the chapter. We just need to be able to shoot this thing, or looks like we can shoot it from there. That is ideal. I'm hoping that this ends the mission because I don't think that is this thing part of the bloom spawn? That is the only question we have to ask ourselves. Let's go ahead and shoot this. We are going to get a supporting shot there from Storm, which will almost finish it off. Let's see here. Crow, can you hit that from there? He may be able to. Okay, he can hit this one and this one. Okay, let's go and hit this one here. That may just end the mission there. Okay, yes, it does. Perfect.
Surface level bombardment will commence momentarily. Enemy down.
Another mission skated through by the skin of my teeth there. More through luck than judgment. We have completed another one. There's been definitely a consistent theme in here where I succeed more through luck than skill. But as I always say, it is better to be lucky than to be good. We gained 11 red seeds there. That's going to allow us to research that next. All right, we did get a tier 3 Psy Cannon. I think I will take that. Tier 2 crack grenade's pretty good. 3 armor break is pretty nice, and having that on more than one knight would be good. Although it does not blast them back. Yeah, I think we'll save the rest of the requisition. We'll take that tier 3 Psy Cannon though for sure. Yep, acquire a level 3 mastercrafted ranged weapon there. That is going to be another achievement gained. Very nice. All right, now we are inside of the warp surge or the warp storm here. Let's go ahead and make our way back to a more central location, and we'll see what happens next. The research should finish here pretty damn soon as we venture back into the warp again. All right, let's pause really quick and check the... Okay, so that's going to finish in 3 days. So we need to start making our way towards that thing. All right, we got a cutscene here. I'm going to shut my mouth.
It's done. I've attuned the Codex Toxicus to the strain. I can feel the Reaper's vile presence within.
For any other citizen of the Imperium, this act would bring a death sentence. Yet you...
Yet I what? Skirt heresy? Do you think I enjoy the strain this task requires? This is my duty, Purifier. When this Reaper manifests, I trust you will do yours. Your knights must be ready, Commander. The time has come.
All right, Hunt Reaper. All right, we have discovered this over here. Corruption level 5, danger level extreme. There is not going to be a lot our prognosticators are going to be able to do about that, as we don't have the required servitors for it. But we'll go ahead and start making our way over there. We do have some slight wounds on these guys, although the apothecarium upgrades that we have made, or the augarium upgrades. Oh, Grandmaster report. We'll go and wait for that here.
Commander, though I am concerned with how rapidly I see this bloom is spreading, your demands of Titan's armory have been growing dramatically. The commander of a Grey Knight strike force must exercise self-discipline in the sacrament of battle. Have you been truly adhering to the virtues demanded of your station?
Return unneeded equipment to Titan. We'll lose 2 unequipped mastercrafted items. Okay, I think we'll do that.
It is gratifying to know that even so far from Titan, the doctrines of our brotherhood are being observed. I expect to hear from you in due time, Brother Ektar.
Of course. Now that he finally acknowledges the threat, he recants his support. Thoroughly sensible.
Assent. Results require resources. Outcomes are not achieved through aspiration alone.
The plight we contend with here is matched by unspeakable horrors our brothers face elsewhere across the galaxy. The gifts the Emperor has given us are mighty, so we consider it a virtue to achieve heroic deeds with the barest of arms. Do not forget this, Commander.
Chaos does not fight with one hand tied behind its back.
That is true. All right, well, we can requisition a rank 1 knight. I think we will do that. And we have one other thing we can requisition. I think it should be armor, so that we have a chance of getting tier 3 armor being high, or the chance of us getting it being high. All right, we'll go ahead and do that. But ladies and gentlemen, we have run out of time on this episode. Let me go and thank the channel's members real quick. Oh, got a hiccup there. I suppressed it, don't worry. I suppressed it just like I'm suppressing heresy in this game. But yes, thank you to Tyler, Tobias, Walter, Moses, and Jared. Yeah, sorry. I did want to extend this episode a little bit, but then I realized it was 5:51 p.m. and I have 9 minutes to go upload and make a thumbnail for the next episode of the Daemonhunters that is going to be released. I will be releasing a shit ton of those today, as we do need to progress through this story quite rapidly. But yes, thank you all for watching, and I will see you guys in the next video. Stay safe out there. Peace out.